What is up guys, it's your boy Solheim here, back with another World of Warcraft video for the War Within. Now today we are talking about investments in the War Within. These are basically items you can buy right now, and they have a chance to go up in price later in the expansion. Now this is something you can always do in any expansion, but the War Within is a little bit more interesting if you ask me, as we have a very staggered launch. A launch that is happening in multiple stages, where we had the early access, we had the official launch, and then we have another 2 weeks between the official launch and the raid launch. So we have a lot of accumulation to be doing during a certain time, where supply is very high because everyone wants to farm early in the expansion, and demand is very low because we don't have mythic dungeons, we don't have mythic plus, and we don't have raids. So certain items are in very low demand right now and very high supply, so we're talking about that in this video. Basically, if you have any gold left over, or you have a little bit of gold on the side that you can invest, then here we go, this is the video for you. Now this is not financial advice even in real life or in game, it is just me showing items that I'm personally investing into and that I think has potential to go up in price over time. Always do your own research on this and never gamble with gold that you cannot afford to lose. Just go in with the assumption you will lose gold and you're here for the fun. Now okay, that's all good, that's just the intro here. Let's talk about which items I'm investing into and a little bit of why. So I'll be showing you the items and why I personally think they will go up in price, and you can argue with me in the comments down below. Now item number one that we're going to go into, we're using Wowhead for this to keep it super simple. Might not be the best visual, but it looks super simple, and I can explain everything when it comes to the items themselves. So item number one is Profaned Tinder Box. I personally bought a bunch of these last night, and this is one of those items that is currently twice as expensive in North America than in EU, and personally that's not something I see a lot, because the WoW token in North America is like half the price of the WoW token in EU, and most items are more expensive on the EU side than on the North American side, and this one is the exact opposite. It's twice the price in North America. Now full disclosure, I spent over 1 million gold on these last night just to buy them, so I have quite a few of them now. And we have also, when it comes to this item, the Profaned Tinder Box, it is used in enchants. Not only enchants, but mainly enchants. You can see it's used in the Authority of Air, the Authority of Fiery Resolve, and the Authority of Radiant Power, all of which are best in slot enchants for different classes when it comes to raids and Mythic Plus. It's also used in the Blessed Weapon Grip, a very good embellishment when it comes to Q3 embellishments. You have the Cavalry's March, Defender's Armor Kit, Defender's March again, that's just a higher quality one of course. Then you have the Oil of Beledur's Grace, it's used there as well, which is a consumable for healers by the way, so 1 Profaned Tinder Box for 5 oils. Then it's also used in the ring enchants, so Radiant Critical Strike, Radiant Haste, and Radiant Mastery, and also the Radiant Versatility. Now that's just the enchants. It's also used in Sanctified Alloys, and it's also used in Sanctified Steps, which also uses Sanctified Alloys, so it uses even more. Like this one alone, these crafted boots for example, would use a total of 5 tinder boxes, because you would also have to use 4 of them to make the alloys needed to make this. So 5 alloys for these boots, for not 5 alloys but 5 boxes in total for these boots. And then you also have the gloves, which uses 3 of them. You have these ones, or this one, the ranged one, uses 2 of them. And you have Scout's March, another enchant. And you also have the Waders of the Unifying Flame, using 2 of them. So TLDR, they're used a lot in the high end, which is, we aren't there yet. Many of these enchants are simply not being bought right now because people don't want to enchant their heroic gear, which makes sense. Mythic Zeros are so easy anyway. Why would you spend 50,000 gold plus on enchants for heroic gear? Makes absolutely no sense. But when you start getting into Mythic Plus dungeons, you start getting your crafted gear done with your sparks, or you start doing heroic raids, stuff like that, you start getting a weekly cash as well, you will start buying a lot more enchants. And I'm just gonna say it right now, having tried this myself, farming these tinder boxes is shit. It is absolutely terrible. I farmed for about half an hour in a very solid area by the way for these boxes, and I managed to get 8 of them but on 2 accounts, so I farm on 2 at the same time. So you would have to cut that in 2, you could get 4 of them in half an hour, and that is by hyper focusing only on that, nothing else, no farming, like no herbalism, no mining, no mob farming, only looking for boxes, maybe 4 per half hour, up to 8 per hour, and even then, I think I was really lucky. I think I was really lucky, by the way. So these boxes seem to be really hard to farm, which means potentially low supply, and it is in a really low demand right now, which will definitely increase over time. So unless Blizzard does a change here to buff the drop rates or nerf the requirements, which they won't do that, but they could upgrade the drop rates. But unless they do that, these will skyrocket, is my opinion here and my thought process. Now, item number 2, which is in the very same category, is the Ringing Deeps Ingot, and this one also is twice as expensive on North America compared to EU, but this one is in the same category. It's really weird and hard to farm. You farm them from treasures, just like the Profane Tinder Boxes. In the Ringing Deeps, for example, it's a Ringing Deeps Ingot after all, so you fly around, loot treasures, and you sometimes find these. Now, they're also used in enchants, mainly Profession tool enchants. As you can see here, Algari Deftness, Finesse, Ingenuity, Perception, and Resourcefulness. So these are arguably more in demand right now. They're also used in the Artisan's Blacksmith Hammer, Needle Set, and all of that, but it's also used in some more items, like for example the Authority of Storms needs them, the Council's Guile needs them, the Oath Sworn Strength needs them, which is really good by the way. You also have the Oath Sworn Tenacity also needs them, and the Fury and the Artistry for Stonebound. They also need one of them. Now you also need them to make 2 different types of epic gear when you have the sparks, so you can make the Sanctified Steps once again, or the Siphoning Stiletto, a one-handed dagger. So overall, this one I think is going to go up less in price comparatively to Profane Tinder Box, because over half of what it's used for is Profession tools, which is in demand right now. That being said, it is also in super high supply right now, and demand will increase over time. Now another item that I've been personally investing into is Null Lotus, and here we see more like the prices should be, where it's higher in EU compared to NA, where it's 140 gold for us, and 85 for North America. Now, when it comes to what this is used for, it's used for flasks. And if you think about it right now, who is buying flasks? Very few people, especially the PvE flasks or the combat flasks. When it comes to the files, the profession files, sure, they are being bought right now in heaps and buckets. You can sell the seasoned winter or the bountiful seasons file for a lot of gold very fast, and you also have the one for True Sight that you sell for a lot of gold very fast. But who's buying the PvE flasks for throughput or output? Heroic dungeons are easy already. You can pull all the mobs until one boss and just AoE them down. Flasks are going to go up in demand like crazy when Mythic Plus comes out and when the raid comes out. And one thing that is common here when it comes to flasks is they all require, like every single craft that is, requires 1 not golden lotus, Null Lotus. And you also have the Concoctor's Clutch, for example, a bag requires 5 of them, and the Gardener's Seed Satchel also requires 5 of them. But what I want to focus on here is the flasks, which are going to go up in demand like crazy when Mythic Plus comes out, regular Mythic Blood Dungeons comes out, and the raid comes out. So this one to me is just a no-brainer. It's being overfarmed like crazy right now, and the prices have already started going up a little bit. So Null Lotus I am definitely buying into, and I will die on that hill. Like Null Lotus for me, that's going to be the gold mine I think, and I could see it going up in price multiple times over. I would not even be surprised if it goes up 5 times, maybe even 10 times, but maybe 10 times is being really hopeful by the way. But once again, that's just my thought process and my speculation. Now, next one we have Vantus Runes for Nerobar Palace. This one is a little bit different, and I want to say North America right now, buy in like Q3s for 8.8k. That is a bargain and a half. Now for these, the only reason here is that we don't have the raid yet, and the raid is coming out later. There's not really much more to talk about here. It's like the raid isn't out, the raid will be out at some point, and when the raid is out, the demand will go up, obviously. So the same thing goes with the materials as well. When you have these on Q3, some people can even guarantee this one at Q3. So they would have to have Q3 materials though. So the Q3 for Apricot Ink and Q3 for Shadow Ink could end up seeing a rise in price, we'll have to wait and see. Then we have the Weaver Cloth spell thread, and this is something I just added because when I'm skilling up tailoring, I make a bunch of these, and I'm talking about Q1s and Q2s here, which are in super high supply. So Q3s are already pretty expensive, and they could go up in price as well, by the way, but they are based on the price of Weaver Cloth. Now these Q1s and Q2s are being mass produced by people leveling their tailoring, so you could sometimes grab these for close to vendor price on the auction house, because people just craft them while skilling up and then post them for whatever the price is. If the price is 20 gold, they still post them just to try to get some gold back. So Q1s and Q2s here because high supply. And there we go. That's basically all of the items that I'm personally investing into for the raid opening week, kind of, and the items that are in high supply right now and has a low price. At least I think so, and I think they could go up in price and also go up in demand, definitely, but could also go down in supply, because a lot of people that are planning to do PvE content later, they are farming right now, because people that are Mythic Plus dungeon players, for example, they don't have quote-unquote any content to do, but they're farming now to make gold, so they don't have to farm when Mythic Plus is out. So a lot of those people that usually don't farm, they're farming right now, so that increases the supply even more. So high supply right now equals a low price, and some items have literally no demand, and then later on, in like 2 weeks time, that changes, where some of those farmers will no longer farm, equals a lower supply, and a lot of those will now do PvE content, equals a higher demand. So low supply is a higher price, which is happening later, and a high supply, which we have right now, equals a lower price. Now, at the end of this video, I should also say that videos like this, and including this one by the way, will be available in early access to people that have my Goldmaking Guide for the War Within, which you can check out down below through the link. And this is a Goldmaking Guide that I've made for the War Within, which covers professions, profession builds, examples of concentration usage, and how to spec into to make passive gold through concentration, my specs, and also a couple of other specs as well. So we have a lot of different versions of specializations to go for in every profession. So if you are wondering what to build in professions, check out that guide. It covers pretty much everything, and we also have solo gold farms in there, group gold farms in there, and just a lot of gold making information. In addition to that, when you buy the guide, you get access to a gold making Discord server where you get early access to gold making videos and also exclusive videos as well. So you just get more content, and you get the content earlier. So with videos like this, investments, you get them before they go public, so you could probably get them, the items that is, at a cheaper price before they get pumped up. Either way, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like down below. I'm live on Twitch probably right now. I'm streaming a lot these days, setting up my characters and making a bunch of gold, or at least I'm trying. Either way, if you enjoyed the video, once again, leave a like, leave a comment, and yeah, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. I will see you again in the next video very soon.